The mostly weekly podcast from Root and Hero Plumbing and Air. Here to talk to heroes about business and the trades. With your host David and Cat, they're on the attack, oh yeah. This is the Hero Talk theme song, ooh yeah. This is Podcast Weekly. Well, mostly it is, don't worry about it, okay? This is the Hero Talk theme song, ooh yeah.
Yo, what's up? Welcome back to another episode of Hero Talk, the mostly weekly podcast from Rooter Hero Plumbing and Air. That's right, we're a plumbing company, and we have a podcast. What's up with that?
What's up with that?
I don't know. We're about to find out, though. Because, yeah. Does every plumbing company have a podcast? No. But we do.
And we're glad you're here.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that too. So, I'm David. I'm one of the hosts, and with me is...
Cat!
And together we're on the attack. That's right.
We sure are.
That is right. So, it's been a while since we've last recorded. And by a while, I mean exactly 1 week. Down to the time. Ish. Not everything's exact. Nor should it be.
True.
So, Kat, how was your week?
It was good. We're working on some new stuff to launch on Instagram soon, so stay tuned, guys.
Yeah.
It's been a fun week. What about you, David?
Yeah, no, it's been okay, yeah.
Yeah. I feel like I didn't really do much this past week.
Yeah, maybe best not to admit that to a podcast that your bosses watch.
No, in my personal.
Oh,
like,
okay.
Fun, exciting.
Oh, okay.
Like that I could share.
Oh.
No.
All right. I knew what you meant. I knew what you meant.
Because, how usually we're like, oh, I did this
Yeah,
over the weekend.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't really do anything.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
I went to the mall on Sunday.
That's fun.
Is it?
Sometimes.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, see, I didn't do that at all.
Yeah, we went to 2 stores and left.
Fun.
Yeah.
Did you buy anything? In this economy?
Not for myself, no. But we got the youngest a couple of shirts.
Nice.
A couple pairs of pants.
The necessities.
Yeah, because, when you're 7, you tend to grow. I don't know. But I do need to go out and buy stuff for myself at some point. I have a very minimalist wardrobe.
I feel like I did too. I feel like I'm always wearing the color black in every episode.
Yeah.
But it's variations of shirts.
Yeah, mine's not. I have 5 or 6 button-up shirts.
And just throw them in a rotation.
Yeah, I randomize them during on Sunday.
No.
I wore this one on last Monday, so I'll wear that one on Tuesday when I'm doing my laundry.
That makes sense.
So yeah, and that's fine. I just I want some variety, or to replace. So.
Do you replace? That's
what Goodwill is for,
That's true.
I like going to Goodwill.
They have good stuff sometimes.
Sometimes I scour their books. The ones on the East Coast were so much better when it came to books, though.
Really?
And I don't know if that's a recent change over here or if it's just always been that way. But the book selections on these ones, at least the ones I've been to, have been lackluster at best.
Interesting.
On the East Coast, they always had Stephen King books. Right? Because, it is what it is. Lots of them. Or they'd have those pulp, fantasy and science fiction novels. It was just oh, cool. Here we go.
They were more your taste.
Yeah. Here it's all Scientology and
Very LA.
recipe books, which I get why Goodwill has an influx of recipe books, because who buys cookbooks now? Because you can just find everything online. And yes, you do have to scroll through like paragraphs of an entire story about the recipe.
Mm.
But when you get to it, the recipe's there.
And it was free.
Yeah, and I understand why there's a giant story before the recipe. That's for SEO. But I don't want to read someone's autobiography
Very true.
to learn how to make muffins.
Very true.
So,
Or you can just look up a quick video on Instagram or TikTok or YouTube.
yeah. I think it's funny that TikTok's become the largest search engine. I think that's funny.
Yeah, because you can look up so much stuff and 99% they'll have it.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So TikTok's become the largest search engine, and I know it only searches for things on the platform, so it's not technically a search engine, but for the sake of language, that's what we're going with. And Google has become nothing but ads. So, and sponsored and paid posts. So it is what it is.
Very true.
You want to be on the first page of Google? You gotta pay.
Yeah, that's very
So.
true. And it'll literally say like sponsored or.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And it used to be just a few at the very top. Now it's that AI thing. Right?
Yeah.
Which is more helpful than the majority of the things. But
It threw me off at first. I was like, what is the.
yeah. But I like it.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
But you have to scroll down even further now to get any results. So, well, and most people don't scroll down.
Yeah, you look at the first
So,
one and that's it.
Because that's the way it used to be.
The first one was the best one.
Yep. So whether it was by relevance or by SEO. But now it's whoever can pay the most. So it is what it is. So I'm looking forward to the Arc browser, and I know I mentioned this to you before recording, but that integrates fully with AI, and you can use things like Perplexity as the search engine as opposed to Google.
Yeah.
So, or you can use DuckDuckGo as the search engine instead of that. So, there we go. Just waiting for that. Right now, it only works on Mac and Windows 11. But I don't have Windows 11.
We're on 10.
Yep. Because the requirements to be on 11 is crazy.
Is it really?
Yeah. Like, I don't believe them when they say what the requirements are.
Why? Like, what's a crazy one?
Like, you have to have, like, so much processing speed and everything else. So, yeah, I guess that makes sense. But Windows 11 to me just looks like Chrome OS for, like, on a Chromebook. So, it is what it is, you know? What are we gonna do about it? Nothing at all.
Makes sense.
Because if we could make our own browser or our own Windows or our own operating system, we would have. Yeah, I haven't really tried, but I'm guessing it takes a lot of work.
I'm sure.
So,
or else everyone would do it.
yeah, which, you know, if you're into Linux and things like that, maybe you can. I don't know. So, yeah, I guess we should start the episode.
All right, David, what are we talking about today on this episode of Hero Talk? Woo!
Yes. That was some
intro.
Yeah, that was something. So today, because we are in a very strange economy, right? Where people aren't buying as much as they used to outright.
They're really not.
Right? And you can see this because prices have escalated and most people's wage have stayed the same, right?
Yes.
And even if your wage did increase, it probably didn't increase with the rate that things are increasing.
Yes.
So it is what it is, right? So companies, a lot of companies have started to cut costs, right? Now, sometimes when a company cut costs, they cut too deep, and they start cutting things that affect the effectiveness and the efficiency of the organization, which it is what it is. I understand why people do it, right? I understand why a company would want to cut unnecessary costs. In fact, they should cut unnecessary costs.
Mm-hmm.
It's just when you read into things too much, or you just cut indiscriminately, right, to save a percentage, that's when that cutting the effectiveness or the efficiency can come in.
Yeah,
right?
keep it at cutting unnecessary things, not.
So, like, and if a department is too big for the current whatever it is, yeah, some cuts should be done there, right? Let's say you have an accounting department that has 30 people in it,
Yeah.
and you find out through I don't know, through some office efficiency and some other things that, like, hey, we could do this with 25 and have the same results or even better, right? Then yeah, you probably should the new corporate term is right size. So it is what it is.
Of course, there's a term for it.
Yeah, there's a term for everything. Some of them are just really funny and they get made fun of on TikTok, and I enjoy those a lot. So, because it's just corporate doublespeak, really. So,
Yeah.
for downsizing. So, but with things being easier to automate and things being taken by AI, some of it makes sense, right? So, now it's better to repurpose or reseat people rather than just cutting them out,
Yeah.
right? But sometimes that's unavoidable, right? It is what it is. I'm not going to say it's not personal, it's business, because there's nothing more personal than business. So you're literally dictating if someone can afford their bills or not.
Yeah.
So when there's layoffs, and like we've all seen them, right, over like a leaked Zoom call, or someone records it and posts it on
they
TikTok,
post it.
and yeah, which are fun to watch.
If you're not on the other side.
Obviously, but some of these have been botched so bad that it's like it's a PR disaster. There was a couple years ago that leaked, and like the company's gone now.
Yeah.
So it's
especially the power of TikTok, because they will go after you.
oh yeah, and everything else, and everyone wonders why they want it banned, which is fun. So there's that. Now there is something that is more effective at increasing the bottom line than cost cutting. And I'm talking about indiscriminate cost cutting here. I'm not talking about the necessary, hey, why are we paying this bill every month? We're not even using this thing.
Yeah, that's like a
necessity
that needs to be cut.
So, but the thing that increases the bottom line more than any cost cutting is customer retention and getting rid of customer churn. So, if, let's say, your business is, let's just throw it out there as a ratio, right? Your customer base, right, of new clients to old clients or previous clients that are still using your services or sign up to use an additional service. Let's say it's 80% new customers to 20% old customers, right? There's something broken with your customer loyalty and customer retention. So there's something broken there. And each industry, each company has its own like sweet spot for it. For a lot of companies, and to simplify things, I'm going to say it's 60-40, right?
Okay.
So 60% new customers to 40% existing customers that are
Returning.
will use your services again, right? So for other companies that might be flipped, right?
Yeah.
So
I feel like for a plumbing company that might be a little bit harder because once you like fix your like you fix their issue,
mhm.
they won't have another issue for a really long time.
If it, yeah,
You
no,
know,
but
well, if you fix the issue that was like their main issue,
right,
you know,
right, and then other things
obviously
pop
like
up,
yeah,
but
obviously
yeah,
other things pop up and
yeah,
they'll hopefully come back to you for like a fixture that needs to be
right,
replaced or etc.
yeah, yeah, or referrals, things like that.
Yeah.
And that comes through making it so that customers will come back to you again, right? So it's about treating them right, about being transparent, about making it easy, and it's about reaching out to them after the service is done, right? Whether that be through some remarketing, like, or like a phone call saying, "Hey, how is everything? Well, if you ever have any other issues,
Give
feel
us
free
a
to call
call.
us," right?
The happy calls.
Yeah, happy calls. For other things, like it might be worth your while to reach out and offer them additional services a couple months after, right? Especially if you're multi-trade. So, yeah, we took care of this person's plumbing back in, I don't know, November. Um, we're offering an HVAC tune-up right now before summer starts, that kind of thing, right?
That's good.
So, and then if you're a multi-trade, it gets a little bit easier, right? So, because you can flip-flop and offer the HVAC people plumbing, tune-ups, and everything else, right? So, and then just being omnipresent on marketing, right? Be everywhere in as much as you can afford. Um, the marketing budget at most companies should be big, right? So, because you have to not only attract new customers, you have to retain the previous customers, right?
Keep them.
So, invite them to follow your socials, right? Invite them to visit the website. Invite them to join your membership plan if you have one, right? Maintenance agreements, things like that, and you'll see those repeat customers booking again and again and again if you set it up right and you give them a reason to, right? So even now in 2024, you go to a lot of the plumbing companies like social media pages, and it's nothing but calls to action, right? Everything's an ad, right? There, it doesn't give you any insight to what the company is about, what works in the company, or anything like that. It's all calls to action, and calls to action definitely have their place, right? It's but it's not the only thing.
Yeah, it shouldn't. Yeah, your whole entire page should not look like an ad.
Yep. So, and I get the temptation to do it, right? But it doesn't really work.
Because my thing is just like, would you follow them?
Yeah.
Like, you personally?
I mean, chances are you're not following many plumbing pages, right? Plumbing meme pages, maybe. And I've been kicking around that idea. But, but
I post them occasionally.
yeah, I think memes are a very effective way of advertising now.
Especially if they're really funny.
Yeah.
Because then they get
Yeah.
engagement and so on and so forth.
Yep. So, I mean, that's just the world we live in now. And it doesn't just attract younger customers, and that's everyone's fear, right? It's like, oh, this is only for the kids, right? It's like, no, first of all,
It's for people with a sense of humor.
yeah, which is most people, right? That there's a lot of ageism that goes into a lot of marketing companies when it comes to the trades, where they're too chicken to post things that people might think are maybe a little bit unprofessional, right?
Yeah.
So like jokes and memes and
That's
things
true.
like that. So it's not true. It's like saying that like someone who's 70 years old doesn't have an email address, right? We all know they do, right?
Yeah, they have to if they have a smartphone.
If they have a smartphone, if they have cable television, if they have internet in their home, they have an email.
Yeah.
So now, do they use it? Probably they do. So, in fact, that might be the only demographic that still uses email.
That's true.
So, people younger than 40, I want to say. By and large, not everyone. Email is outdated. It's antiquated. It is a thing of the past.
Yeah.
Everything now is instant messenger and texting. So
Very true.
can't express how much I think email is a backwards, inefficient, dumb way for companies to communicate with each other. So, not when there's things like Slack or literally anything else.
Yeah.
So, that's my hill that I'm choosing to die on. And
Well, it's true. We've like incorporated
Yeah.
that.
yeah, it's just email is so inefficient. And because of things like Slack or Discord or whatever, I now have zero patience when waiting for an email reply.
Because it's like
Yeah, it's like,
It's
come
so
on,
quick.
come on. It's like, I know email's not for like, you know, instant results, but like, don't ask me a question and then when I answer it with a follow-up question, don't take 2 days to get back to me.
yeah.
I don't even know what that's talking about anymore at that point. So,
I think it really depends on like the company and if they stress the importance of email. Because I feel like when I first got here, email was like, oh my gosh, email everyone, CC everyone, this.
Yep.
And now since
That was
we're
a while ago.
yeah,
So
now since we transitioned to Slack and then we transitioned to Discord and it's like it's way
yeah,
now.
everything's automatic. You get an answer almost immediately,
yeah.
and you don't have to go through your email. So emails for a company should be customer facing.
Yeah.
So period. So even HR messages and memos and things like that, which should be a thing of the past, honestly, but it is what it is, should go through Slack. So, or Discord or whatever it is you use. Most people use Slack.
Yeah.
So I'll just use that as the catch-all for instant messaging. So, but anyway, there's a way that you can increase some efficiency.
Okay.
So tied it all back in, right? So, retaining existing customers and reducing customer churn is hard, right? Especially if you're not set up for it.
Yeah.
If you're not giving five-star service in every single customer touch point, you're gonna lose a bunch at one of those points, right? So, but here's some stats, right? And if you ever want the sources for these stats, I can give them to you. Just ask.
Just ask.
So, it costs much less to retain customers than acquire new ones. Everyone knows this. Everyone gives lip service to this, right? So, it costs about 5 to 25 times more to acquire a new customer than it takes to keep an existing one. So, there you go. That right there will save you some money, right? Existing customers tend to spend more over time. Duh. Right? So
I've used this over and over.
yeah. So a 5% increase in customer retention can increase profits by 25 to 95%. So there you go. Yeah. So customers who are loyal to a company and repeatedly use them are more likely to refer that company to their friends and family, right? So that right there, there's no real marketing in that,
It's
marketing
just word of
cost.
mouth.
So it is marketing because word of mouth marketing is a thing, but it's like minimal cost if that, right?
It's
So
just doing a good job.
yeah. So and retaining customers avoids the lost revenue from churn. So estimated at around $1.6 trillion per year across the board for
Yeah,
all industries.
For all industries.
So something like that, right? So that's a lot of cash, right? In fact, I think that's more cash than like what disengaged workers cost companies. So now to reduce customer churn, you have to do away with the disengaged employees,
Yeah.
right? And I don't mean get rid of them, right? I mean engage the employees.
Yeah.
So, and that's a hard feat because like 85% of people who work jobs, they're there for they're there to do the minimum, right, and still get a paycheck.
Yeah.
And now people shouldn't expect a a low paid hourly employee to care as much about the business as the owner does. That would be crazy. But care a little bit. So get, and that falls on the leaders, honestly. If they're not given a reason to care, if they're not given a reason to buy into whatever the company's mission is, or whatever the company's vision is, that is 100% on the leaders of the company.
Yeah.
So most leaders of the companies are not leaders.
Which we've talked about before.
Yeah. So listen to any of those previous ones. But that is one of the issues. So, and disengaged employees 100% affect customer churn.
Definitely.
So, and yeah. So, again, to reduce customer churn, which is the big one, right? And right away, 20% ish of customers will move on after they use you once, right? So that's just a given stat. You can reduce that stat, but it's still going to be there. You might be able to get it down to 15, maybe 10% if you're really, really, really good. Most companies aren't, especially when they have like new customers coming in.
Yeah.
Right? And you shouldn't stop trying to get new customers. That's one of those things. You should always be striving to get new customers. But get those new customers and put them into the cycle where they use you again and again. So, the first one, we've talked about this before, provide exceptional customer service. Right? 5-star service.
Yeah. Roll out that red carpet.
Yep. At every single customer touch point. So if you're a trades company, that includes the initial marketing, the initial how they found out about you. It rolls into whatever booking system you have, right? Whether you use a call center, online scheduler, or a chat system, whatever. Most companies should have all three.
Make it
right?
as easy as possible for the customer.
Yep. So respond promptly to things, right? If a customer books with an emergency, right? Should be up to the dispatcher or whoever to call them back within minutes, and sometimes minutes is too long.
Yeah.
Right. So, because if your house is flooding, right, and all your stuff is being ruined,
you're calling more than one company, and you're gonna go with the fastest.
Exactly. It's not like ordering a pizza. Okay.
Yeah.
So, well, I've always wanted to do that, but now you have to pay before you they deliver. But no, sorry, Pizza Hut already delivered, man. Sorry, Papa John's.
Yeah.
That kind of thing, right? And then being transparent as possible.
Yeah.
So, and that's with scheduling, that's with pricing, that's with timelines to completion, everything.
Yes.
If you're not doing that, get on it. All right. So offer personalized recommendations. Implement a customer loyalty program, like a maintenance plan, Hero Club, this, that, and the other. So get to know your customer base, and you don't have to know each single one, but at least know what makes up the customer base.
Like a general.
Exactly. So you can do this through like a prism analysis where it like segments your customers into different demographics. And I don't mean like race or anything like that, but like age, average yearly income, what they're into, homeowner, and a lot of this can just be easily found out on Google Analytics of people who have visited your website. So, which is good. If you're looking to get new keywords or to talk in a language that your customers understand, you should listen to or read transcripts of the booking calls and pay attention to how the customers describe something.
Oh.
So
okay.
If they describe something in a certain way with their voice, that's probably what they're typing in.
Yeah.
So
that makes sense.
Yeah. So just a little thing there. Then, pay attention to customer feedback. And I know we've talked about that one before, but it's so important that
Yeah.
not a lot of companies do. Some companies don't even try to get customer feedback other than 5-star reviews.
Yeah, and feedback
So-
should not be taken lightly, both the good and the bad.
Yep.
It needs
Yep.
to be.
So if you get a bunch of reviews or a bunch of feedback that says, "Hey, these people do this really really well, good, cool," double down on that,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then if you get another bunch that says, "Hey, this is what really sucks about your company," then fix that.
Figure out how you can improve
So-
that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and if you do that and you do it consistently and you do it without trying to make excuses, then you're gonna go somewhere.
Yeah.
And the worst thing you can do is look at something like customer feedback forms and be like, "That's not true." It's like, well, if it wasn't true,
They wouldn't.
the 100 people wouldn't have said it.
Yeah.
Well, what are you talking about?
And it's one thing if you get like one customer that says it, but like if it's like more than one and it's consistent and
Yeah.
their stories, you know,
Mhm.
like
Yep, there's
Come on,
something there's
guys.
something broken in your chain. So, and that easily fixed if you put in the work.
if you care.
Yeah, but if you're like, okay, no, we're not going to do any more feedback forms for this area, they're fine. They're all mean. Like everyone is, or
Yeah.
or is it you?
Or is there something wrong? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, bro. So I don't know. So, yep. And then when you do get those feedback forms, negative or positive, reach back out to the customer. So, and in both ways, you can thank them for bringing it to your attention.
Yeah.
So, the customer don't make the customer feel they wasted time in letting you know what's going wrong with your company.
Yeah.
Right.
And filling out that feedback form.
Yeah.
Very true.
And then make the feedback forms or the call as simple as possible, right? Don't have like 7 screens or whatever.
Yeah,
So,
because then no one's gonna want to fill it out.
no, keep it.
Or they're just gonna push random stuff until they finish.
Yeah. And then if it's on a scale of like 0 to 10 or 1 to 10, don't pay attention to the 7s. So, and that's an old rule, right? But it's still, because the 7 on a scale of 1 to 10 is the nice button. Where the service really sucked, they don't
They're
want to
just
say
being
that.
nice.
So that's 7. So,
Mm.
so yeah, it's yep. So 7 negative. Then you should take it that way. So, because again, they're just being nice. So, if you haven't already, implement like online booking, right? And not one that just sends a form fill to the office, but one that actually books directly into whatever software you're using for your appointments, right? So, it's plenty of them do it now, right? And yeah, so it is what it is. So do whatever you can to minimize friction when it comes to dealing with your company. Right, this is a big one. It goes into the effortless experience. It goes into the customer effort score. The harder it is to do business with a company, the more customer churn they're going to experience, because nobody likes dealing with a company that's hard to deal with. So, if, for example, let's say they try calling in and there's like a 5-minute hold, right? First of all, what are you doing? Staff up.
Yeah.
Second, offer a callback. So, hey, all of our people are busy. Would you like a callback?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, cool. And then those are usually automated, so it's all good. Third, staff up. I know I already said that, but it bears repeating.
Yeah.
So, make it so that you can answer the calls when they come in.
Especially like in the trades, like they're calling because 9 times out of 10 they
Yeah.
really need the service.
Right. So, answer on the first ring. If you don't have enough people to answer on the first ring,
Get people.
get people to answer on the first ring. I don't know how else to tell you that.
Yeah.
and then make sure those people are as pleasant and as easy to talk to as possible. Have your script simple. You don't need to ask them 80 questions. You just need the basics, right?
Yeah.
And then, like, if it's like an HVAC call, one or two additional questions, right? Or if it's ask probing questions if necessary, right? Just to clarify everything. It's not hard. It's just most customer service departments at trade companies are understaffed, and they are usually the first victim of cost cutting.
Yeah.
So it is what it is, and that's not just true with the trades. That's with every industry. Every place that you've ever called that has your call was important to us. Please remain on the line. It's because they're understaffed.
Yeah.
So, and being not understaffed is easy. All you have to do is know what your call volume is, what your projected call volume is, and then plug it into an Erlang C calculator, and it'll tell you exactly how many people you need per hour. And then you schedule around that.
Yeah. I think
So-
we've talked about that before too.
Yeah. It's not hard. It's just, I don't know what it is.
You have to see where to put your costs.
Yeah.
At.
So, let's see. Identify at-risk customers, so the ones that are most likely to churn. If they have to call back in to get a status update or an ETA or anything like that, chances are they're not going to use you again, right?
Yeah. That's why,
So-
because you made it more difficult for
Yeah,
them.
exactly. Callbacks are one of the highest ranking things for customer disloyalty. So,
And not when like we call them, when they have to call
Right.
us.
of course, right. So unless we're calling them to delay them for the 5th time. So,
Then
Right.
they won't use you either.
yeah, exactly. So things that you can offer to make it easier for people to come back to you. I'm just going to rattle through the list. Extended warranty or service plans, right? Smart thermostat installation, right? So,
That's cool.
yeah. So and that works really well with like remote monitoring of that smart thermostat, where if something goes wrong with it or whatever, it will send a ping or an alert to your company, and then you can follow up with them. Hey, I noticed this. Would you like us to come back out there and take a look at it? That kind of thing. So, yeah. You can do virtual consultations like doctors do now.
Yeah,
Right.
they do.
So, a lot can be done over FaceTime. So, you can even put things on your website that tells them how to fix simple things,
Yeah, like a training or a tutorial.
and then have a call to action at the end of that says, hey, if that didn't work or it's more extensive than this, give us a call, right? You can do energy audits. That goes with that remote monitoring, preventative maintenance reminders, like stuff like that. You can send out a text message saying, hey, we were out there like
2 years ago.
I think it's time that we came to check things up. Things like that. Simple things like being able to take payments. Take payments like through either a link or on the website itself, right? That way, it should never be hard for a customer to pay you.
Yeah.
It's dumb if it is. So
Yeah.
it is what it is. Now, the only thing that's really standing in the way, and I know I have a list of like challenges, but honestly, the only challenge in implementing any of these things is mindset, because everything's there for you now, right?
Yeah.
So there's a company out there offering all of this or parts of this. So it's all there. So the only thing that's standing in companies' ways of making it easier for repeat customers is the company itself. So, and that could be through, hey, we've never done it this way. Hey, we do it this way. That kind of thing. And that kind of limited thinking is really going to bite you in the butt. So, because as soon as other companies start doing this and start like remote monitoring or improving their customer experience, this, that, and the other, then you're going to be left behind, and whatever competitive advantage you might have had in the beginning will be gone, and you'll be playing catch up. And, well, playing catch up is nowhere to be.
Yeah.
So, especially where things are right now in the economy, like playing catch up, the costs are gonna be even more, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, stuff like that. So,
So mindset is very important.
yeah. So, once again, I just want to go through some stats. So, about how customer retention and reducing customer churn can really benefit your company. Um, like I said before, it costs 5 to 25 times more to acquire a new customer than to retain an existing one. All right. Increasing customer retention rates by just 5% can increase profits by 25 to 95%. That's a huge one. 95, of course, being on the complete outside,
Yeah.
right? Like best possible results, and all the stars align, and there's unicorns and everything else.
And
but
rainbows.
yeah, but 25 to 50, I would say, is more realistic.
Yeah.
So, the average company loses around 20% of its customers annually, which that's just by default. That's the standard, right? So,
Like everyone.
yeah. Existing customers tend to spend 67% more than new customers. So, a 2% increase in customer retention has the same effect on profits as decreasing costs by 10%. And the cost of bringing a new customer up to the same level of profitability as an existing one is up to 16 times more. So, maybe you want to look into reducing your customer churn.
Yeah.
Just an idea, just a thought. So, and this goes way beyond the trades industry, right?
Yeah.
It goes into every single business out there, right? It goes into your local Starbucks. It goes into your local retail stores or your mom and pop shops or whatever you can imagine a business has. So you want to keep the customers you have. You want them to keep them coming back for more, as well as attracting new customers.
Yep.
It's the only way to grow. And if you're just focused on acquiring new customers and you're like, they'll use us if they want to, right? Eventually, you're going to run out of customers.
Yeah.
So there's only so many people in a geographic area. Now, if you like sell products or widgets or software or something, that's not usually the case, is it?
Yeah, because you have
right, you have
the whole world. But
if you service certain geographic locations, eventually you're going to run out of customers if all you're focused on is acquiring new leads or new customers, right?
Yep.
So pay attention to the existing customers, pay attention to your existing customer database, and leverage that to bring more business into your company, because it's a lot more effective and a lot more sustainable than cutting costs, especially when you cut costs that you probably shouldn't have, and it results in a lack or a decrease in effectiveness and efficiency. But effectiveness is really the big one there.
Yeah.
Because you can there's something that can happen where you sacrifice effectiveness for efficiency. So you never want to be in that position. So effectiveness trumps efficiency 100% of the time. So you should balance the two.
Yeah.
So things should be efficient and effective, not just efficient. So there we go. You have anything else to add?
No, just invest in customer retention strategies.
Yeah.
It's very important, guys.
Yeah, and here's the thing. It's not easy. It's simple, but it's not easy because you have to get buy-in from every level of the organization, right? Especially from the top.
It's not easy, but it's important.
Yeah. So, I know there's something about a fee.
Oh, If you guys liked this video or got anything out of it, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. And if you're watching on any other podcast platform, give it a thumbs up or share from there as well.
Right.
We'll see you guys next time.
All right, bye.
Bye.